I'm going to show you, instead of a read ahead, the Towers of Hanoi game as a watch ahead. So what the object of this game is that I want to move all of these discs from one peg to another peg. And the rule is I can't take a smaller disc as I'm moving, and I can only move one disc at a time. So I have to move this disc over here, but then I can't put this disc on top of here because the rule is that that disc can't go, the larger disc can't go on top of a smaller disc. And so I have to put that here. So the question is, if I have n discs, if I have 6 discs, 7 discs, 8 discs, what is the minimal number of moves to take off those discs and move them from one peg entirely to another peg? So for example, if I have 3, I would get 1. This can't go on top of here, so this disc has to go over here. 2 moves. Now I have no empty pegs to move this disc, so I have to move it here. 3 moves. This disc now can move here. 4 moves. This disc has to go here. 5 moves. 6 moves. 7 moves. So for n equals 3, it takes 7 moves. That answer is on that website that you can use to play around with this without a wooden block. So I want a model for this, and I remember back when I first came here in 1996, what I did was make a table. So I had n as the number of discs. I made a table. For n equals 1, it takes 1 move. So I put 1, 1. And then, if I have n equals 2, this is the type of, I'm an experimenter. I like to experiment with numbers. So I took this, 1, 2, 3 moves. And I put, for n equals 2, there's 3 moves. And then for n equals 3, we know there's 7 moves. I think it was somewhere by n equals 3 when one of the other hires, his name was Dr. Ethan Burkove, had just sat there. And our program director asked him, have you figured out what the model is? He said, oh, yes. Here it is. Let dn be the minimal number of moves it takes to move n discs. Then this would be dn minus 1, because it's the minimal number of moves to move n minus 1 discs. So dn minus 1, I move them over, plus 1, plus dn minus 1. So my model is dn, d sub n, is equal to dn minus 1, plus 1, plus dn minus 1. I hated him on the spot, because he was so smart, and I was jealous. That's why I'm wearing a green dress today. So I hope he watches this. We became lifelong friends. He works at Lafayette College now, and we're still friends, even though he taught at the Air Force Academy last year. So, but it was a funny story, and I never forgot how he did that. So we learned from each other.